Good day, everyone. So, welcome to our organic chemistry class. To my organic chemistry class. So, the next aspect of organic chemistry that we are going to treat now is what is nomenclature of organic compound, or IUPAC nomenclature of what? Organic compound. So, if we are talking about what? The IUPAC nomenclature, IU what? PAC nomenclature of organic what? Nomenclature of organic compound. You remember that what? This term nomenclature, we have it in inorganic compounds. So the IUPAC nomenclature of inorganic compound is where we use what? Oxidation number to determine the what? The naming. Like if you have what? Like H2SO4. So if you have to name the H2SO4, so the central atom here is what? Sulfur. So you calculate the number of what? Of sulfur to name what? This compound. Or assume if you have what? KMnO4. So to name this compound, these are the what? Inorganic compounds. You calculate what? The oxidation number of central atom, which is what? Manganese here. To know the what? The name of the what? Of the compound. If you have problem with what? The nomenclature of inorganic compound, you can go back to the what? To my channel. You will see it under oxidation and what? And reduction. But in this class, our interest is what? The IUPAC nomenclature of organic what? Organic compound. A compound that is comprised of the what? Of the carbon and its compound, exception of what? Of CO2, CO, CO3, and others. So this nomenclature is very essential in what? In science. You still remember we also have what? Nomenclature in what? In biology. This is what the nomenclature in biology was explained by the father of taxonomy, which is known as what? Linnaeus, and where we use what? Binomial nomenclature and a trinomial nomenclature. So the nomenclature is very essential in what? In science. So if you are talking of what? Of nomenclature in organic what? Compound or chemistry. This nomenclature is basically comprised of three things. Three what? Three things. The first one we have what we call what? The first thing is stem. After stem, we have what we call what? Preface. After preface, we have what we call what? Surface. So these are the what? The three parts of what? Of nomenclature of organic compound. This term, we can also call it what? Root. So whenever we are dealing with nomenclature of organic compound, by combine the three together, the preface will come before. Combine the three together, the preface we have here will come. Preface simply means what? Before. Then followed by what? Stem, which is what? Root. But followed by what? Surface, which is what? Afterwards. After. This is the method of naming organic what? Compound. The preface is the name that is come before the what? The root or the stem or the main name. We can call this preface as what? As adjective. So this surface is the name that is come after the what? This stem. The surface simply means what? Is the one that will tell us the functional group of what? Of organic compound. Take for instance now, assume we have a compound in this form, CH3, CH, CH, and CH2O. And here we have CH3. Good. You're asked to name this compound now. The first thing you need to check is what? Fish out your what? Your stem. The stem is what? Is the mean or the longest carbon chain. What is the longest carbon chain of the structure? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Abi? So the stem of what? Of this compound is what? Is 4. Abi? And 4 simply means what? We call it what? Butan. The butan means what? But. B-U-T. But stand for what? For 4 carbon atom. So the longest carbon atom here is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the longest carbon atom. Count it from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. See the same now, Abi? So that is 4. You got what? But or butan. This butan is what? Is the stem. The next thing we need now is what? Locate your functional group. Now, I did functional group before now. Check it from the beginning of the what? To the organic chemistry. So the functional group here is what? Is OH. And we all know that any organic compound that is contain this OH belong to the what? Alkanol. No be so? So alka what? Alkanol. You can see that what? This OH stand for what? This OL. Because this butan is what? Is this alkane. Butan. So the functional group here is what? Is O. So this OH is functional group called what? O. You now put it here. O. You now put it here. We call it what? O. And this O here is served as what? Surface. Yes. And if you want to name a compound that is have a functional group, you will start your naming from where? From you start your naming from the carbon atom that is contains what? The functional group. Here we have, if you start from 1, 2, 3, 4, we are wrong. Why? You must always start your naming from the what? The carbon that contains your functional group if it's from the end. So here now you can say what? 1, 2, 3, 4. This second one is what? Is the right one. This one is wrong. Don't worry about that. I will give you the rules of nomenclature. So as a result of that now, this is what? Carbon 1, carbon 2. And this carbon 2, we have a substituted group that is attached to carbon what? Carbon 2 here. Abi, this substituted group call it what? Me what? Me T. So the substituted group is the one that we call what? Previous. So the substituted group is what? Is methyl. You now put it here. And then this methyl we have at what carbon? Carbon 2. You can now call it what? 2. You can call it what? 2 methyl butanol. So these 2 methyl serve as what? As preface. So that is how we name all organic what? Compounds. For nomenclature of organic compound, 3 things need to be done: stem, preface, surface. So the stem is what? The main carbon chain. The surface is the functional what? Group. Where the what? The preface is the what? Is attached group, which known as what? Substituted what? Group. So this is just an introduction to what? The IUPAC what? Nomenclature. Yeah, let's start. Now, IUPAC. I what? UPAC no what? Nomenclature. of organic what? Compound. So IUPAC nomenclature of what? Of organic compound. As we all know, before that is what? Yes. What? The IUPAC name of any organic compound. Organic what? Compound consists of three parts. Consists of three what? Three parts. What are the parts that it consists of? One consists of three what? Three parts. The first one we have what we call what? Stem. What is stem? So stem is the basic unit of systematic name which describe to carbon skeleton. So I will treat them one after the other. So the stem is the what? Is the basic unit of systematic what? Name. This is the stem here. Is what? Is the basic unit of the what? Of systematic what? Name to describe the carbon skeleton. The carbon skeleton here is what? Is four. I will call it what? Roots. And for this what? Systematics. For this stem, now we can have stem of the compound to exist in this form. See it. We can have it in what? Number of what? Number of carbon that is present. The second one, it will be what? The name. See, any organic compound that is contain just one carbon atom class, what will be the what? The name. Any organic compound. What will be the stem name? We call it what? Met. Organic compound that is contain just one carbon atom, we call it what? The stem name will be what? Will be met. If organic compound contain two carbon atom, what the stem name is what? Earth. If organic compound contain three carbon atom, the stem name is what? Probe. If organic compound contain four carbon atom, let me underline it in this form. Four is what? Bute. If it is what? Five, you call it what? Pent. If it is what? Six, you call it what? Eggs. Sorry. Six is what? X. If it is what? Seven, you call it what? Earth. If it is what? Eight, you call it what? Oct. If it is what? Nine, you call it what? None. Hello? See, don't joke with this. What? The stem. So that's how we can what? Determine the stem of what? Organic what? Organic compound. So for every naming, the first thing that we do is what? To determine the what? The what? The stem first. Count the number of carbon atoms we have there. Take for instance, now, take for instance for this thing, if a compound stand like this, you are asked that what is the name? You don't know the functional group. Oh. You call it what? Met. But assume I put what? OH here. What is OH? Is alkanol. Abi? Call it what? Methanol. Abi? But if we have what? CH2, 3, CH2, OH. See it now. How many carbon do we have there? 1, 2. You are now asked what is the name of the compound. Just count the number of carbon. Is what? Is X. Tell me what? Ether. No. If you have a compound with 3, 8, this 2, this what? 2, 3. How many carbon do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. We call it what? 4 means what? Boots. We call it boots. Then this carbon single bond is N, butane. We have done this before in a functional group. Just know in a naming of organic compound, the first thing is what? Count the number of carbon atoms we have. Longest chain. So if it is 1, it's met. If it is 2, 3, 4, pent, and others. That is all about the what? The previous. So the next thing that we are going to treat now is what? Let's talk about what? This is about the what? So the stem. The next thing is, let's look at what we call what? Previous. We are done with what? We are done with stem. The next one we have is what? Is previous. So what did we call previous? So previous is an adjective which is always come before what? Before stem. Let me write it out. The previous. The what? The stem. Name. The stem what? Name may have, yes, a certain group of atoms. Certain groups of what? Of atoms attached to it. Group of atoms are what? Attached to it, which is termed substituents. The group of atoms attached to what? To the stem are called what? Substituted. So what? Substituted. So our terms as what? Substituent. Yes. Let me continue. Atom attached to, put this term as what? Substituted. Prefix are what? Prefix that is added before stem. Added to the what? To the stem name. This is what we call what? Prefix. I said the stem name may have a certain group of atom attached to it. It may have, at times it may not have. Attached to it, which the term called what? Substituent and are called what? Previous. They always come before what? Before stem. So this previous, I used to call it what for my students? Parasites. They can never stand alone in organic compound. They always what? Attach themselves to the what? To the stem, the main carbon atom. To what? To survive. I call them what? Parasites. Let us look at it now. And this group that is always stand for the previous, they have their own what? Name. The general name that you used to call what? The previous is Aki what? Aki group. Aki what? Aki group. See, this Aki group, they always serve as what? Previous. Aki group, they are always stand as what? As previous in organic compound. This Aki group, they cannot stand what? Alone. They are always what? Attach themselves to what? To the main stem of carbon of organic compound. So what is this Aki group now? Aki group are reversed to the substituted what group? Okay, let me write it down. Aki group, they are reversed to what? Substituted what? Group, which attach to carbon atom of the main compound, which is known as what? As stem. And this group, they have their own general formula, which is what? The what? The general, or they have, what happened to my black marker? They have general molecular formula from what? Formula of H2N plus 1. This is the general formula for what? Aki group, or we always use what? Or we always use what? Capital letter R to what? To denote them. I've explained this Aki group in a functional group. So Aki group, they are also called substituted group. They always attach themselves to the what? To the main skeleton, carbon skeleton of what? Of organic compounds. And the general formula for this Aki group is what? CnH2n. And these are, or we call them what? R. And this Aki group, they are derivative of what? Of a compound called a what? Alkane. We derive them from what? The word a what? Alkane. The first member of what? If you look at what? Aki group, you know we have alkane. This marker is not okay at all. Okay, if you have what? The word alkane. This alkane is the one that gives birth to the one we call what? Alkene. The first member of alkane is methyl. See what? CH4. So this CH4, we call it what? Methane. And if you remove one hydrogen atom from this methane to give us what? CH3, bond. We can never write CH3 like this. Oh. If you write it in this form, this compound is what? Is not exist, is not stable. For it to be what? To be stable or to exist, you write what? CH3 bond like this. So bond must attach to it or write it what? CH4. So once you remove one atom here, you must put what? Bond here. So, or you can put the bond in the back or in the what? In the front. So this methane, remove one hydrogen from methane, give us what? Methyl. Abi? So it now become what? Methyl. Instead of A-N-E, we have Y-I. Alkane give us alkene. If you have what? C2H6. C2H6, the name is what? Don't forget, what do we have here? C2 is eth. We call it what? Ethane. Abi, if this ethane, remove one from this one, it will give us what? C2H5 with bond. Abi, if C3H8, what is C3 here? Prop. We call it what? Propane. Abi, so what is propane? What do we have now left? Is what? C3H7. Remove one here, you put bond there. So you can now see that what? This alkyl group derived from the what? From alkane. And let me give you the what? The table for this alkyl what? Alkyl group 2 or this alkyl group. The first member is CH3 bond. And the name for this is what? Is what we call what? Methyl. So if we have what? C2H5, what do we call it? We call it what? Ethyl. If we have what? C3H7, what do we call it? We call it what? Propyl, and so on. Please know this. So all this, they are alkyl what? Alkyl group, and they are substituted group. So we are done with what? The stem and what? Previous. The last one is surface. So if I'm talking of what? Of surface now. The word surface is denote the functional group present in organic compound. So the surface is denotes the functional group present in what? In organic what? Compound. A surface, the what? Denotes the forward functional group present in organic compound. In a organic what? Organic what? Compound. And it's always added after stem. Let me add it. And it's always added after what? The stem name. Please let us note that this surface is the one that we use to what? It's determine the functional group. Once you know the functional group of the compound, you will now attach the functional group to the front of what? Of stem. So this previous always come the back of the stem, The suffix come in the front of the what? Of the stem. So once you all know that what? The IUPAC nomenclature of organic compound consists of three parts, which is known as what? Stem, preface, and what? And the suffix. The next thing is what? I will give you just 7 rules. General rules for naming organic compound. Once you understand the what? The 7 rules, you can name any organic compound given. So let us now move to the what? To the general rules of IUPAC nomenclature of organic what? Organic compound. Of IUPAC, know what? Nomenclature of organic what? Organic compound. See, this rule is based on 2 things. It's based on 7 what? Rule. The first one, identify the functional group present in organic compound. Before you name any organic compound, try to know the functional group first. Once you know the functional group, you know the what? The name of the what? Of the compound. So, the functional group. Yes, let's start with this. Call it what? The rules. The first rule, let me call it what? Rule what? Rule 1. Rule 1. The rule 1 states that what? Identify. I what? Identify the functional group. Functional what? Group present in or present on the organic compound. Present on organic what? Compound. OC represent organic what? Compound. To determine the family it belong to. Hey, if you want to name any compounds, you will try to what? Identify the functional group of the compound in order to know the kind of the family the compound belong what? Belong to. So, the second one is identify the longest carbon chain. Rule 2. Rule what? 2. What? Identify the longest carbon what? Chain. I what? Identify the longest carbon chain. The longest carbon what? Chain. And name. And what? Name it as the parent compound. Name it as what? Parent compound. If you know the functional group of the family of the functional group of the compound, let's do what? Count the number of what? Of the longest chain. It will now serve as the what? As the parent name of the what? Of the compound. This parent name of the compound will serve as what? As stem. This functional group will serve as what? As a suffix. So the rule number 3 is to now the one that is what? Deal with what? Prefix. You can see rule number 1 is suffix functional group. Rule number 2 tell us about the what? The stem, the main, the parent compound. So the rule number 3 was select the what? The parent chain. Then number from the end, which gives the lowest number to the carbon atom containing functional group. 3. Said what? Selected. Selected parent chain. The parent chain is longest what? Carbon chain here. After selected it, then what? Then number. This is the word number from the end. Which end? Which give the lowest number to the what? To the carbon atom carrying the functional group. To the what? To the end, which what? Gives the lowest number. This symbol represents what? Number. To the carbon atom. To the carbon what? Carbon atom carrying the functional group. So, carrying the functional what? Group. After you get your longest chain, then number from the end at which carbon from the end which give the lowest number to the carbon containing the functional group. What I say here that what? If you are trying to name organic compound that is a functional group, you will consider the end that will give you the lowest number with the carbon that contain the functional group. Don't worry about that. Let me just write the rules down. I will give you 2 or question to solve here. Or no, wait. Let me give one example of this one first before I go to the rule number 4. Take this as a case of study. Yes, I'm having green marker here now. So, yeah, take this compound as a case of study. If you have what? CH3, CH2, CH, yes, 2, CH, and at this end here, we have C what? CH3. And this one contain OH. We are now asked to what? To name this compound. Class, if I want to name this compound now, what is the rule 1? It said, identify the functional group present on the organic compound to determine the family belong to. What is the functional group here? I've said it earlier that any organic compound you see in your life and the compound contain OH, This OH tell you that what the compound belongs to the alkanol. So the presence of this OH here, it will tell you that what the compound belongs to where? To the family of what? What? Alkanol. We know the family now. Abi? So, and the functional group always come after the stem. Name alkanol. Good. The second rule say that what? Identify the longest chain of the carbon atom. Name it as the parent compound. But follow the what? The second what? The second rule now. Okay, let us identify the longest chain. If I start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Abi? Good. Or I can start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our parent chain is what? Is 5. Whether we start from the left or from the what? From the right. Abi? Good. So if we start from the what? From the this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You will observe that our functional group is what? Is OH. OH is the functional what? Functional group. And this OH is known as what? What? Alkanol. Have you now? So if we consider our naming from what? From here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The OH attached to carbon what? Carbon 4. Have you now? If the OH attached to carbon 4, what will be the name of this compound? You call it what? You know, the longest chain, the parent chain here is what? Is 5. Back to the stem. Whenever a number of carbon is 5, what do we call it? Pent. Abi? So you will now have what we call what? Pentan. Which is what? 5. Abi? Good. But the OH here, we serve as the functional group, can be found at what carbon? If we start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. At fourth carbon, we have the functional group OH. Abi? Call it what? Penta 4 O. O is functional group alkanol. Pentan 4 O. Abi now? But again, if we start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From this side, the OH can be found at what carbon? Carbon 2. Abi? So the name would be what? Pentan 2 O. So which of the two is correct now? That is what the rule 3 is telling us. Select the parent chain, which is pent. Then number from the end to which give the lowest number to the carbon atom carrying the what? Functional group. So lowest number, which if we count it from here, one functional group is 4. From here, 1, 2. So the lowest number to functional group is 1, 2. 2 is less than what? 4. Therefore, this compound is wrong for us to call this structure pentan 4O. The right option is what? Pentan 2O. That is what rule 3 is telling us. You need to what? To consider the what? The lowest number to the carbon containing the functional group. Tell you that what? You will start your naming from the side, lowest side of the carbon atom that contains the functional what? Functional group. That is what? This is application of what? What? Rule 3. The next rule is rule 4. The rule 4 The Rufus said select select the parent what? Chain. Parent chain. Then number from the end. From the what? The end which give the lowest number to the carbon atom carrying the substituents. Look at this side. This one is almost the same with what? With what? 3. When functional group present, we apply this. We have some one that does not contain functional group. See, let us look at this. Let me use the same structure. If you have CH3, CH2, CH2, CH, and we have CH3. At this side, we have C what? CH3. I love this. Look at this question, this structure. You will observe that what? If you start your naming, no, to know the parent chain, you can call it what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's spent. Start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You will observe that what? There is a parasite here which attached to the what? This carbon. This is the attaching group. This attached group that is attached here is one that we call what? We call it what? Alkyl group. Alkyl what? Alkyl group. You know, I said it cannot start alone. This is it. CH3. You can see it. They always attach to the parent chain. So, what is the parent chain of this compound? From rules number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here, we have single bond throughout. No OH, no oxygen, no functional group. Abi? So, a compound that is contain carbon-carbon single bond, if you check my functional group lecture, you will know that what? This is compound from alkane. Abi? You call it what? What? Pentane. Abi? This compound is called what? Pentane. Why do you call pentane? Because it has what? 5 carbon atom. You call it what? What? Pentane. Good. So once you call it pentane, note that what? This alkyl group attached to carbon 4 if you start from here. But if you start from here, attached to carbon 2. Abi? So, but if you start from the what? From the back, yeah. Attached to carbon 4, we call it what? 4-methylpentane. 4 at carbon 4. This is no, it's alkanol now. It's alkyl group. Or what kind of alkyl group? We call it what? Methyl. Abi? So we now say what? It's 4 what? 4-methyl. Then what? Pentane. But if you start your naming from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please, what are you going to have? 2 what? methyl pen what? Pentane. So which one is correct now? That is rule 4. Select the parent chain, which is pentane first. Then number it from end, which gives the lowest number to the carbon atom carrying the substituted group. The lowest number to the carbon atom carry the what? Substituted group. So which one is lowest between 4 and 2? It's 2. Therefore, this compound, this name is what is wrong. This is the right naming for what? For this compound. That is the application of what? Of rule what? Rule 4. So the next thing is what? Is rule 5. So I said that I'm going to do how many rules? Rule 7. So how can I do it now? Yes, I will not. Yes, permit me to rub this side and this side. So I will leave this rule to solve questions. So the next rules now is rule 5. What? Rule 5. We say that what? When written IUPAC name of a compound of a what? Compound, put comma between sheets. Sorry, I'm using blue pen. To write the name. So when what? Written IUPAC name of a compound, put what? Comma between number. Between what? Numbers and hyphen. Between number and alphabet. Between number and alphabet. That's rule what? 5. The rule 6 6. Don't worry, let me write the 6. I will use this to explain 5. Said when 2 or more different substituents are present on the same parent, on the same what? Parent compound. The substituents are arranged in alphabetical order. In what? Alphabetical what? Order, irrespective of their position. Of their position in the carbon chain. So before we go to the what? The last rule, which is 7. Let me explain this with 5 and what? With 6. Look at with 5, with 6. A compound, see it, of CH3, CH, CH, we have CH, then we have CH, 2, CH2, CH3. That decide that what? At this end, let me put CH3 here. Here we have Br. Here we have C2H5. We are now asked to what? To name for this kind of problem. To name it, don't forget about the rule 1. Identify the functional group. What's the functional group here? It's carbon, 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 single bond. Any organic compound that contains carbon to carbon to carbon, carbon, single bond throughout. I said it earlier that what? The compound belongs to the what we call what? Alkane. Check functional group, carbon, carbon, single bond. Throughout is alkane. The second rule said that what? Determine the what? The parent chain. The longest what? Longest chain. To know the longest chain here, let us what? Name the what? The carbon atom. If you start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Our parent chain is what? Is 7. But if you start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in the two sides, you can see that what? The parent chain, which is longest chain in the compound, is 7. Good. So when it's 7, what will be the what? The parent name. 7. You note at what? I'll give it before that if it is 1, it's met. 2, et. 3, pro. 4, brute. 5, ept. 6, x. 7, ept. So we can now call this one what? A what? Heptane. We can call it what? A what? Heptane. A-N-E. From the word alkane, carbon-carbon single bond through out. Hept from the word 7. The next thing that we do is what? Don't forget about the what? This is what? Rule 2, longest chain. We have done it, heptane. Then the rule 3, we don't need rule 4. It says select the parent chain, then number the what? From the end to which lowest number of carbon atom carry the substituted group. Yes. Look at this side now. We have how many substituted group here? We have 3. The first one is here. B is the second one. B is what? The third one. From the name, what is the name of this CH3? We call it what? Methyl. Hope you remember. This one, C2H5. What do we call it? We call it what? Ethyl. We have done it under previous. They cannot stand alone, they are parasites. Methyl, ethyl. Out of this bromine, we call it what? Bromo. So if you want to name it now, the rule 6 and the rule 5 will apply. them. The rules say that when two or more different substituted groups are present, we have how many substituted groups now? 3. On the same compound, the substituted are arranged in alphabetical order. That is, in alphabet, if you could still remember, we have what we call what? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. How many substituted groups do we have here? How many? 3. Methyl, ethyl, bromine. We can see that what this bromine starts from the what? B. So this B represents what? What? Bromine. This Et is what? Et is E. We have Met. Methyl is what? Is M. So out of these 3 now, in alphabetic order, which one is the first? Is B. Therefore, you will start your naming from what? B. Because we have B before E, E before M. Am I communicating? Good. So where, if, and this B now, it has 3 positions. If I start from here, what should I call it? Call it what? 1, 2, 3. Call it what? 3 bromo. Call it what? 3 bromo. Abi? But if I start from here, it will be what? 5 what? Bromo. Back to this rule. Here we have 2 options now. Either 3 bromo or 5 bromo. Which one are we going to what? To use? Yeah. The one that is what? Legs. Abi? So we cannot go for what? 2 methyl. Go for 2. The one that is what? Legs. Between letter, alphabet, and number, we use hyphen. Hyphen 4. Hyphen. So this 4 is what? A T. 4 a T. Abi? Let me rub this. For what? A T. This a T attached to the carbon 4. E. Then what is the next one now? Put hyphen. Methyl, because it's M. M is the last alphabet. Now call it what? Attached to what carbon? 2. 2 methyl. Abi? The next one is what? The parent chain, which is 7. You call it what? Heptane. So this is the IUPAC name for this compound. 3 bromo 4 ethyl 2 methyl heptane. So don't call it what? 5 bromo 4 methyl 2. No, you are wrong. So you must follow the what? The rules. Hmm? Hmm? Sorry, we start from what? Yeah, it's 2. I'm right. So let us, we will solve more question on it later. Move to the what? Rules. Or rule, the last rule, which is what? Rule 7. That one said that if 2 or more two or more similar, yes, similar substituent group are present in organic compound. Yes, groups are present in organic compound. Two or more similar substituent group are present. Yes, in organic compound. Compound. Okay. The word die for two or try for three and tetra for what? For four. etc. etc. are used to specify the number, specify the what? The number of time they appear. It's the same thing with this six. Here, there are different substituted group. But here, the same substituted group, two or more of the similar, the same substituted group are present. So the number that try will determine which words to show the number of the compound. Let's take this as case of study. If you have a compound of CH3, CH, and we have CH2, OO, CH, and COOH. Here we have CH3, here we have CH3. If you ask to name this compound, how are you going to do it? Don't forget the rules. Identify the functional group present to determine the family of the compound. Please don't forget functional group, it's very essential. So the functional group, any compound that contain any organic compound that is have COOH, the compound belongs to the what we call what? Alkanoic acid, or they are also called carboxylic acid. So this COOH, the presence here, tell us that this compound belongs to the what? Alkanoic acid, which is carboxylic acid. Assume we change this to everything we have here to what? To OH. We call it what? Alkanol. But COOH we have here tell us that what? The compound we have here is what? Is alkanoic acid. What is the last L? Is alkanoic what? Acid. Once you know that what is alkanoic acid, then you go two set find the longest chain. What is the longest chain? Find it. You start your naming from what? According to this group 3, from the functional what? Functional group. So we say what? 1, 2, 3, 4. You can start from here. This is functional group. So that is what group 3 tell us. So start from functional group 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is what? Compound that is contain 4. What do we call it? We call it boots. We call it what? buta. What is family? Oic. Butanoic what? Acid. This is the parent name. Is the butanoic acid. But we observe that what? There are two parasites here. One is up here. We call it what? Methyl. The another parasite is also here. What do we call it? We call it what? Methyl. So these two methyl, they attach to what carbon here? Carbon 2. Carbon what? 2. So how are you going to name it now? When methyl attached to carbon 2 here, we call it what? 2-methyl. Abi? So, but here, the two of them attached to carbon 2, we now call it what? 2,2-dimethyl. Can I say what? What will be the name now? It will be what? The first one, 2. What are written IUPAC Naming? Comma between two numbers, 2, 2. Then number and methyl alphabet. How many methyl do we have? 2. I said it here. Di represents 2. Similar. They are similar one. Di methyl butanoic acid. That is the name. We call it what? 2 what? 2, 2. Because the two other attached to carbon 2. 2, 2. Because there are 2, 1, 2. Di methylbutanoic acid. Let me give another example. In case of we have a compound like this, CH3, CH, 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 double bond, CH. Okay, at this side, I decide to put CH3 here. At this side, I decide to put C2, H5. At this side, I decide to put CH3. We are now asked to name. Hello? Look at this structure. The first thing to name it. Look at your words, your functional group. The functional group here is carbon-carbon double bond. From here to heaven, any organic compound that have carbon-carbon double bond, they belong to the what? Alkene. Family of what? Alkene. So the functional group now is what? The family is alkene. What is the longest chain? Count it. Always start your number from the carbon that is very close to the what? Functional group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it is 5, we have how many substituted groups? How many? 3. This is what? 1 here. Another one is here. Another one is here. This one we have up here is a what? A T. Because it's 2 carbon. This one is 1 carbon. What do we call it? Methyl. This one is also what? 1 carbon. We call it what? Methyl. You are now asked to name it. Because the compound we have here is our 5 carbon atom, the parent chain, the longest chain. So 5 means what? Per what? Pent. But what is the family functional group? In double bond, pentene. This is step. Yeah, look at the what? The substituted group. How many? 3. If we start from here now, so between ethene and methyl, which one are we going to take first? Is this E or M? from this row. You take what? E alphabetical order first, abi? If you take E first, E attached to what carbon? Carbon 3. Abi now? You now call it what? 3 what? Ethyl carbon 3. 3 ethyl. What do you have next here? We have what? Methyl. One methyl attached to carbon 3, attached to what? Carbon 4. Abi? They are similar. The way we did here, abi? So the first one attached to 3, you can say what? 3 methyl, 3 followed by what? 4. Between numbers, we use comma. 3, 4. Abi? How many methyl? 2. Dimethyl pentane. That's be the name. 3 ethyl. Then we have what? 3, 4, comma, dimethyl pentane. Pentane. That's the what? The name. That is all about the what? The 7 basic rules for organic compounds. So the next thing that we are going to treat now is what? We're now going to treat what? The nomenclature of each family of organic compound, which is started from the what? I will start from alkane, followed by what? Alkene, followed by what? Alkyne, followed by alkane, followed by what? No, followed by alkanoic acid, followed by aldehyde and ketone, which is alkana, and what? Alkanol, then aromatic compound. So we are going to treat the nomenclature of all organic compounds we have, one after the other. If you can survive that one, you will have problem again with what? Nomenclature.